Yo, all the unemployed CS majors, tap in. What's happening? We in this together. Graduated 2 months ago, and I'm currently unemployed. But this isn't necessarily about unemployment. This video is about what I'm doing to get employed and land that first tech job. So that leads me to the first thing that I'm doing to land me my job, and that's projects. I just completed my first full stack project. I called it AI Producer Assistant, and pretty much what it does is you can input your beat title, BPM, key, and then it'll spit out YouTube title ideas. It'll spit out captions that you can use, tags, that sort of thing. And it blended, my love for creativity and tech with my passion for making music, and those intertwined and made AI Producer Assistant. And I deployed it. It went live. I put the link to it on my resume because my resume was literally my bachelor's degree and my old lifeguarding job. That's not gonna help if I want to land a job in tech. Lifeguarding? Maybe if I want to work at Water Country, So that's the biggest thing I'm doing, is building projects. And I'm looking forward to building bigger and better projects. That was just the first one, so I can get the ball rolling, because that's the biggest thing, is getting started with it. And I know a lot of people are like, how are you a CS major and you graduated with no projects? Of course I did like the coursework, but as far as side projects that are valuable enough, in my opinion, to put on a resume, far and few in between. And this is important because employers, they want to see that you can build stuff. They want to see you know what you're doing. And projects, that's the easiest way to do that. And that leads me straight into the second way. And that leads me straight into the second thing I'm doing to land me my first job, which is making those projects public. So that means posting them on LinkedIn, on GitHub, maintaining clean READMEs. And this ties directly into creating the projects, because what's the point of creating AI Producer Assistant if no one can see it, if no one can use it? You know what I mean? Like, it's just staying in the basement. No one knows it exists. So you have to make these things public, viewable to potential employers, recruiters. You never know what opportunities could come from just putting your work out in public. And these are the biggest lever things that I think I can do to land my first tech job. Because right now, I'm not even getting interviews. I've sent out a bunch of applications. Y'all know how it is. I've sent out a bunch of applications. I haven't heard from a bunch, and I got a couple rejections. I haven't even landed that first interview. So these are the biggest things that I can do to get my resume even accepted to get an interview. Now, once you get an interview, that's a whole different story, right? And for that portion of things, I've been grinding LeetCode. Y'all already know. It's the holy grail, the go-to for computer science. So once I do land that interview, I'm able to pass those technical questions, pass the technical interview, the behavioral interview, and move on to the next rounds. And also, one thing that I haven't started doing yet, but I will start doing, is mock interviews. Preparing for those questions that they're going to ask you in an interview. What's a challenging experience you've had and how did you overcome it? Stuff like that. That's something that you want to have prepared for a little bit. You don't want that to be the first time you're thinking about that question or that type of answer, You want to get good at selling yourself. Well, you want to get good at selling yourself, and I want to get good at selling myself. We're in this together, like I said. All the unemployed CS majors. I'm sure it's a lot of us. But those are the main things that I'm doing to land me my first tech job. Hopefully, sooner rather than later. My TV is going off. You gotta love Apple TV, right?
I'll get you too.
And I'm leaving that in there. But hopefully sooner rather than later, I can be back here making a video saying how I landed my first tech job. And if you want to stay tuned for that journey, follow along with me. Make sure you subscribe.